guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts. This is Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March. Calendar says the 19th of 2019. Did you guys have a good St. Patrick's Day? We don't really do anything for St. Patrick's Day. We just sometimes we'll make some corned beef, sandwiches, cabbage, meals, depends. Right now we're just kind of laying low and relaxing because it was a Sunday, and Sundays are nice days to just relax, right? Some of you may be wondering, did I actually have a week off this past week? Yes and no. We did have a week off from we went in on Monday to do IV therapy at the cancer center, and after that we did not go back all week long, which was great. But Tuesday, let's see, what did we do Tuesday? Tuesday we had to go and get some papers notarized. We had to go to Rob's primary care physician's doctor's appointment. And then we snuck next door. They have this little ice cream place that I didn't know was there. And they had some nice dairy-free options. Yum. So we got what did we get? We got some Italian ice, and I got this vegan chocolate raspberry. I don't know if it's still called ice cream if there's no milk in it. Whatever it is, it was this vegan chocolate raspberry. Yum. It kind of tasted like a brownie that's nice and moist or brownie batter. So, ooh, that was delicious. I'm going to be looking forward to going back to his doctor's appointment next month because I'm going to get me some more ice cream. And then Wednesday, he has his pain management home health nurse comes in. So while we didn't go anywhere Wednesday, I still had to kind of tidy up the house a little. And then she ran a little late on our first appointment, so it took a while to get to us, so we kind of sat and wait. But let me tell you, sitting and waiting in your own house is a heck of a lot better than sitting and waiting at a cold place in a waiting room somewhere at a doctor's or something. It was nice. Thursday, I spent my morning running around, running errands and hitting a bunch of stores and pharmacies and grocery shopping. And then Friday, I went back out to the pharmacy to get my prescriptions that I forgot to get Thursday when I was running around doing all my errands. But you know what? It was still a really good week because we didn't have to sit anywhere for 4 or 5 hours and just stare at a clock and waiting for time to pass. Did I get some things done here in the craft room? I got a little bit done in the craft room, but not too much. What I did do is I went and prepared all of my things for the baby preemie shirts there, the diaper shirts. So I have a couple left I still need to do. I need some bigger pieces of poster board. But I did get all of these set up onto poster board. Oh, no. I did prepare a bunch of the smaller sizes and put them on file cards, file folders, manila folders. But they have these shirts. This one is for a baby that weighs 1 pound or less. That's tiny. This one's 1 pound to 8 ounces. 1 pound to 1 pound 8 ounces. So this is crazy. The one they use the most, they say, is this one. And this size goes for 2 pound 8 ounces to 3 pound 12 ounces. This is the one that they sent me when I had to be certified to make sure I could actually sew a shirt properly. So these are all alphabetized. I did letters A through L. There's still more, a couple after that, but those are more like for larger babies. And I guess just if they have to go into the neonatal unit, they still want to have the same type of shirts, mostly because of all the wires and tubing. So I got all those prepared. I didn't get to do any of the shirts and get them prepared, but that's okay. Now that I have all these set, because you just set these down on your fabric and you trace around them and sew them and all that. So I'm prepared now to actually sit down and get things ready. This took me about 3 hours to get those ready. So that was a pretty good Saturday afternoon. As you might see, I do have some quilt tops here. I did do some baby quilts over the weekend. Well, I kind of cheated a little. I'm going to put a link down in the descriptions on the YouTube video for my Patreon page. I'm going to be putting up a video there where I discussed how I made these. And basically, I had these 9-patch quilt tops. If anyone was really into hanging out with Flickr, when Flickr was really popular about 10 years ago, there was Amanda Jean from Crazy Mom Quilts. She decided she was being crazy and she wanted to do a 9-patch a day for an entire year. So 365 9-patches. And she made hers using 2.5-inch squares. She's like, hey, I'm going to be crazy. You guys want to join in? And I said, sure, because I was basically a new quilter at that point. I've only been quilting for a couple years. So I decided I'm going to make 9 patches. That sounds like fun, right? So I made a twin size boy version and a girl version, and it's been sitting in my closet for 10 years. It never got turned into quilts. They just sat there, and I'd always meant to. Because I had Robbie and I had Mandy, I could have made one for each of them, but it just never really, they didn't feel inspired by it, and I just never really got around to doing it. So I chopped them up. But there you go. I told you half the story anyways. But head on over to Patreon and listen to me babble, and I'll go a little more into it. But I did end up getting 5 of these baby quilts. From those 2 twin quilts. And I have a little stack over there in the corner that I could probably make one more out of. I'll just probably have to add a big border to it because it's not that many squares. So I thought that worked out really well. And now, so if I made 5, that means I'm now 4 weeks ahead plus the 1 or 2 weeks I was ahead before. So I'm in good shape. And what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping once I get, I think what I'll do is I'll probably make a couple more, and then maybe when I hit the halfway part in June, then maybe I'll take the month of June and just go ahead and do all the quilting. Because at that point, I'm already 4 weeks ahead, so I can afford to take that whole month off and just quilt these. But I think that was a great use of these quilts that were just sitting there, and I was never going to quilt them. I kept thinking about them, but then I thought, well, didn't want to put them through my machine, and now that I can get them through my Juki much easier, I thought I don't want to get on the knees and on the floor and go ahead and pin baste them all. And while I love these and I love the fabrics that I did, I'm just kind of over these quilts. So I think this is going to be a perfect use for them. They're going to be able to go to 5, maybe 6 babies, and I think that's much better than 2 twin quilts that I would probably end up putting in my shop to sell. Or maybe donating them to Project Linus as they were. But the crazy part of all of this is while these have been sitting in my closet and I've been thinking about them the last couple weeks, I've also been thinking about doing this over again. I thought, well, maybe I might just do 4 patches because it'd be easier to do as leader and enders. But then I'm really thinking about it, and I think I want to do this again. I really love the way this quilt top turned out. And these are all my old fabrics. So I thought maybe I'll just start cutting some 2.5-inch strips off of all the new fabrics that have been coming in and make some 9 patches with those. Yes, I know, I'll probably be in the same situation again, but it'll be newer fabric, and I'm more experienced as a quilter now, and all my sashing will line up where some of these are actually just a little bit crooked. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get myself, maybe I'll make a nice little basket, and I'll cut up a whole bunch of 2.5-inch squares and just stick them in the basket and just make some random 9 patches. Anybody interested in joining me? I'm always trying to do something crazy and add more to my pile than I can already get done as is, right? But if I do it as a leader ender and I do a 9 patch a day, it's not like it's taking extra time. It's still just like 15 minutes of sewing. Once you have them all cut up, you're just pulling them out of a basket. I can have a light basket and a dark basket, or I can just do random. Let me show you. See, some of these I just use the 2 fabrics like you would normally think for a 9 patch. And then other ones, like these 2 here, I just randomly stitch 9 patch, the squares together into a 9 patch. Maybe I might just do all the same fabric in the center, but no, that'd be too much like work. I always like these fabrics, the watermelons and then the ones with the little bugs in a circle. So I think that might be a fun way to use up a lot of this novelty fabric and add in some of the newer fabrics that I have and make some fun projects out of it. Well, I hope you guys had some time to do a little bit of crafting in your room this week, and I hope it wasn't all about chores and running errands. Even if you only have 15 or 20 minutes to play in your fabrics every day, I think you're getting ahead, you're making progress on something, and it's giving you that little bit of a stress relief. So that's it for me this week. I hope you guys find at least 15 minutes a day to play with your fabric stash, and I'll see you next week. Bye!